When did a dumb rule almost unalive someone? Our school had zero tolerance for running in hallways after a kid got trampled during a fire drill. The scholarship I'd won required maintaining perfect disciplinary standing. Without this scholarship, I wasn't going to college. I'd become an expert at speed walking, that awkward, almost jog that looked ridiculous but technically wasn't running. The security guards were obsessed with catching runners. They'd review footage every day and hand out punishments like candy. A kid lost his scholarship last year for running to the bathroom when he had food poisoning. After that, we all knew there were no exceptions. I kept a timer on my phone for passing periods, giving myself exactly enough time to walk between classes without rushing. I'd memorized which hallways got congested and planned routes that avoided them. My friend Ted would text me if there were guards stationed at certain corners, and I'd go the long way around. We all looked out for each other because we knew one moment of forgetting the rule meant losing our futures. The principal loved to remind us during assemblies that the no running policy had reduced hallway injuries by 40%. Mr. Lauster would show these graphs about safety statistics, while kids in the audience were calculating whether they could afford community college if they lost their scholarships. He'd always end with "walking saves lives," which became this bitter joke among scholarship kids. During 6th period on a Thursday, I was in the library when I heard a weird thud from the hallway. Through the glass doors, I could see Mr. Garrett, the history teacher, on the floor clutching his chest. His face was purple and he wasn't moving right, just twitching. A couple freshmen were standing there frozen, not knowing what to do. One girl was crying and the other was just backing away like Mr. Garrett might explode. I knew the defibrillator was in the main office, 3 hallways away. The nurse was at the elementary school that day, which she was every Thursday. The librarian was helping someone in the back. It was just me and these terrified kids and a teacher who was clearly having a heart attack. I could see the veins in Mr. Garrett's neck bulging, his eyes rolling back in his head. I started power walking toward the office, but Mr. Garrett made this gasping sound that meant he wasn't getting air. Every second mattered with cardiac arrest. 4 minutes without oxygen meant brain damage. 6 minutes meant death. The office was at least 2 minutes away at walking speed, and that wasn't counting the time to get back with the defibrillator. Mr. Garrett didn't have 4 minutes. He probably didn't even have 2. I thought about my scholarship for exactly 1 second, then started running faster than I'd ever run in my life. My sneakers squeaked on the linoleum as I skidded around corners. I slammed into a trash can, sending it flying, but didn't stop. I could see cameras everywhere, those little red lights that meant my future was evaporating with every step. Other kids pressed against the walls as I flew past, some of them gasping because they knew what running meant for me. One kid actually yelled, "Your scholarship," but I was already gone. I grabbed the defibrillator from the office wall, the secretary yelling questions I didn't answer, and sprinted back even faster. My lungs were burning and I could taste blood in my throat from running so hard. By the time I got to Mr. Garrett, he wasn't breathing at all. His lips were blue and one of the freshmen was screaming that he was dead. I ripped his shirt open, buttons flying everywhere, placed the pads like we'd learned in health class, and let the machine analyze his heart rhythm. It shocked him twice before he started breathing again, just as the actual paramedics arrived. They said the defibrillator saved his life, that another minute without it would have been too late. Mr. Garrett's wife cried and hugged me at the hospital, saying I was an angel. The local news wanted to interview me about being a hero. I couldn't tell them that saving his life had cost me everything. Monday morning, Mr. Lauster called me to his office. The security footage was playing on his computer, showing me running through 3 different hallways at full sprint. He paused it right where I was grabbing the defibrillator. "Mr. Garrett is alive because of you," Mr. Lauster said, folding his hands on his desk. "His family wants to thank you personally at the school board meeting tonight." He pulled out a familiar form from his drawer, the one I'd signed freshman year about maintaining perfect disciplinary standing. "Of course you understand that running on school property is an automatic infraction, regardless of circumstances. The scholarship committee will need to be notified this afternoon." My whole body went cold as he slid the paper across